distorted karmic pursuits can undermine brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means observing pure precepts and practicing concentration. In this context, it primarily refers to upholding the monastic precepts and living a celibate life, thereby cultivating meditative concentration and developing wisdom. What are distorted karmic pursuits? They refer to enjoying practicing the 10 positive actions and pursuing worldly rewards such as wealth and prosperity. People with such pursuits encourage others to enjoy life. They don't appreciate brahmacharya, don't want to uphold the precepts that lead to liberation, and don't like meditation practice. Nowadays, many Buddhists don't want to practice the path to liberation. Brahmacharya is the foundation of the path to liberation. As monastics, we should uphold the precepts and dedicate ourselves to Dharma practice. 5. Relying solely on oneself without external support. Relying solely on oneself without external support means that without the help of a teacher and fellow practitioners, without the training and growth in a monastic community, a practitioner will not receive the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. There will be no external support. We should understand that we take refuge in the 3 jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Without the guidance of a monastic community, we only have 2 jewels. However, without the Sangha, there would be no Dharma, as the genuine Dharma resides in the teacher's mind, not in books. Books are not the Dharma. They are only the carriers of the Dharma, just as videos stored on hard drives are not the Dharma. After watching and comprehending the Dharma videos under the guidance of a teacher, they become the Dharma. Without the guidance of a teacher who has practiced and attained realization, merely reading sutras on your own is like a blind person touching an elephant. You won't understand the sutras comprehensively and accurately. What is authentic Dharma? It must come through an unbroken lineage of transmission. Dharma lineage is essential. Without it, how can you know that you are practicing the genuine Dharma? Without a lineage, or with a broken lineage, your practice becomes a superficial form. Without following a qualified spiritual teacher who knows if you are a demon or a heretic, a great master said, if you interpret the sutras literally, the Buddhas of the 3 times would be wronged. You may read sutras and assume you are studying the Dharma, but please reflect on the master's words. If you study without a qualified teacher and lineage transmission, what teachings are you sharing with others? Do you think just wearing monastic robes and reading a few sutras makes you eligible to teach the Dharma? Such phenomena are terrible. Even the reincarnation of a first-stage bodhisattva would follow a teacher. For example, we should be familiar with great masters like the 6th Patriarch Huineng and Ma Zudaoyi. While many individuals have attained enlightenment in the Chan tradition, masters like Huineng are exceptional among the exceptional. Yet even he followed a teacher and didn't teach the Dharma based on his own understanding of sutras. Throughout history, has there ever been a great master without a lineage transmission? Of course, some bodhisattvas may receive transmissions secretly which we may not know. Bodhisattvas at the 1st stage or higher can directly see Buddhas and bodhisattvas and receive empowerments, blessings, and teachings from them. These are rare cases. However, they still follow a spiritual teacher during their earthly lives. Those of you here can discern qualified spiritual teachers, which suggests that you must have relied on good teachers in past lives. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the opportunity to be here now. In Christianity, Jesus said, "My sheep hear my voice." It means his close disciples must have followed him in past lives, so they recognized him in that lifetime. In other words, those who relied on good spiritual teachers in past lives will actively seek them in this life. Subconsciously, they know they need to find a teacher. Conversely, Those who used to practice without guidance in their past lives don't seek teachers. Moreover, arrogant individuals don't seek teachers. They think there are no good spiritual teachers in the degenerate age. This wrong belief actually stems from their arrogance. How can there be a lack of qualified spiritual teachers? The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are everywhere and constantly enlightening us. It depends on whether we look for them. As long as we pursue the Dharma, aspire for liberation, and seek the Bodhisattva path, we will encounter qualified teachers. We will seek and find them. As mentioned earlier, without the Sangha, there would be no Dharma, leaving only the jewel of Buddha. Some people believe in the Buddha and recite the Buddha's name, but don't earnestly study the Dharma. As a result, they only have the jewel of Buddha. However, they may not understand what the Buddha truly means and how extraordinary the Buddha's qualities are. Their faith in the Buddha is shallow, similar to those who worship idols of other religions. They just have different names. They don't know the role of the Buddha. If you lack any of the three jewels, you lose all of them. The three jewels are inseparable. No matter which jewel you lack, you won't attain liberation, blessings from the three jewels, or the authentic Dharma. So, without the Sangha, where can we find the three jewels? In such cases, one would be superficially taking refuge in the three jewels without a genuine field of refuge. Many people, when taking refuge, simply go to a temple to obtain a certificate from a monastic. Some seek Buddhist certificates merely to gain free admission to tourist attractions. Others believe they have taken refuge in the three jewels after casually getting a certificate at a temple. Many lay people and monastics read sutras by themselves, but without external support, how can one make spiritual progress in the Dharma ending age? Relying solely on oneself is pitiful. How can one make spiritual progress without the support of others? Even if you have profound roots of virtue, without a teacher, you can only maintain the spiritual foundation from past lives at best. For those who study sutras by themselves, it is already impressive if they manage to stay on the right path. For those with a stronger foundation, without a good teacher, the best outcome would be to restore the spiritual level from past lives without regressing. For those with a weaker foundation, the negative karma from past lives may resurface in their youth, causing them to follow their karmic tendencies, just like some of you. As they reach middle age, their roots of virtue may gradually manifest, and they might begin to seek spiritual teachers and learn the Dharma. In 2007, when I first arrived in Beijing, a mother brought her son from Guangdong to Beijing. The mother had never traveled far before, but after hearing about me from a lay practitioner, she decided to visit me with her son. At that time, he was only 8 years old, but I could sense that he had the karmic potential to become a monk. To train him, I started providing education on traditional Chinese culture. When he was in 4th grade, I sent him to southern Shawnee Monastery for a year. After he completed elementary school, I sent him to attend middle school to study mathematics and science. Then he attended high school for half a year. Later, he came to me voluntarily and requested to become a monk. After testing him several times, I saw his sincere aspiration and ordained him. At the time, he was 16 years old. Now, at 23, he is a seasoned practitioner propagating the Dharma and benefiting sentient beings. Without the support of the three jewels, especially without the guidance of a good spiritual teacher, it is hard to receive blessings from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas through our own efforts. While we may have some faith in the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the blessings we receive are limited. The strength of our faith determines the degree of the blessings we receive. Faith also stems from teachers. Nowadays, most Buddhists in China practice on their own, without proper guidance. In less severe cases, this prevents them from receiving blessings from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. In more severe cases, it can lead to significant problems. Previously, I had a disciple in Beijing who was very arrogant and didn't listen to my advice. He bought a collection of Buddhist scriptures and stacked them to the height of a wall, studying on his own. Later, he was influenced by demons and became conceited. He even criticized revered masters recklessly, as if he was more accomplished than the sixth patriarch. How terrible! Some people may think that studying sutras by oneself is fine. However, this person ended up like that. I witnessed his change. When I first arrived in Beijing, he asked me for blessings and took refuge. But later on, he stopped coming to listen to the Dharma and instead studied sutras at home, resulting in such a fate. This is just one example. We have seen numerous such cases, not just one or two. Many individuals went into solitary retreat and became insane or even took their own lives. Since I became a monk, I have heard of more than a few such cases. They are not baseless but true stories. A qualified spiritual teacher is the union of the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Without a teacher, we won't be able to join the Sangha or learn the Dharma. Furthermore, it would be hard to receive blessings from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, as the teacher is the bridge connecting us to enlightened beings. In the Dharma ending age, the situation is challenging and external support is crucial for practicing the Dharma. Hence, the Pure Land School is the primary practice in this era because it is hard to encounter a qualified spiritual teacher. However, even when practicing Pure Land Buddhism, one still needs to rely on the three jewels and a good teacher. Only by following a qualified spiritual teacher can we truly experience the aspirations of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, arouse faith in the Pure Land teachings, understand the conditions for rebirth in the Pure Land, learn how to practice, and meet the requirements for admission there. Otherwise, we may go astray. These are the 5 obstacles faced by practitioners in the Dharma ending age, and we must keep them in mind.